Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are tackling one of my absolute favorite subjects, how to get out there and see the world without totally draining your savings. We're going to take that travel dream and turn it into a real, honest-to-goodness, affordable plan. So, does this feel familiar? You've got that itch to travel, you're scrolling through all these amazing places, but then you think about the cost, and it just feels impossible. Well, what if I told you it really doesn't have to be that way? Here's the good news. We've basically done all the legwork for you. We've scoured the web, pulled together the smartest tips and tricks from the most seasoned travelers. Think of this as your personal cheat sheet for making that next big trip happen. So let's just dive right in. All right, first things first. And this is, without a doubt, the single biggest decision you'll make for your budget: where you decide to go. I mean, picking a place where your money just naturally goes further, that is the ultimate travel hack. Okay, let's start in Europe. You have to check out Poland. It is an absolute gem. We're talking these gorgeous, restored medieval cities like Krakow, so much incredible history, and just an amazing vibe. You get all that classic European charm, but for a tiny fraction of what you'd pay just a little further west. And this right here, this is what I'm talking about. The value is just insane. You can get these huge, delicious plates of traditional food, like pierogi, or a full meal at one of those old Soviet-era milk bars for like $4 to $6. That is a total game changer for what you can spend every day. Okay, now let's hop over to Southeast Asia. For a minute, forget those super crowded southern beaches and let's look north. Northern Thailand, especially around a city like Chiang Mai, has a totally different feel. It's more laid back. You've got mountains, temples, and oh my gosh, some of the best food you will ever eat. And this number is just wild. $60. That's a daily budget for 2 people. And that's without even really trying to be cheap. That covers eating out for every meal, a nice guest house, your daily coffee fix, and you can even squeeze in some Thai massages. The value is just incredible. And for a taste of Central America, you gotta look at Guatemala. It's got everything. We're talking these dramatic volcanic landscapes, a super vibrant living Mayan culture, beautiful old colonial cities, and you get it all for way, way less than you'd pay in some of the more touristy neighboring countries. So here, you could easily be looking at a daily budget between, say, $40 and $65. That's more than enough to explore crazy photogenic cities like Antigua, hop on a boat to cross the amazing Lake Atitlan, and just feast on fantastic local food. Okay, so you've got a destination in mind. Awesome. Now comes the next big step: booking your flights and getting around smartly. This is where learning a few key tricks can literally save you hundreds of dollars. You know, Google Flights is probably one of the most powerful free tools out there, but so many people don't use its best features. The date grid? It's amazing. In just a couple of clicks, it lays out this simple chart that shows you the absolute cheapest days to fly. Seriously, just shifting your trip by a day or two can make a huge difference. Here's a real pro tip, especially for Europe. Start thinking of an overnight train as a hotel on wheels. For maybe $35, you're not just getting from point A to point B, you're also covering your bed for the night. You wake up in a new city, saving a whole day of travel time and the cost of a hotel room. It's a massive win-win. So you've made it. You've arrived. Now, how do you keep that budget looking healthy day to day? Well, it's really all about thinking and acting more like a local and less like a tourist. It really just comes down to these small, smart choices that add up. Got a student ID? Keep it on you. It can unlock discounts of up to 50%. Free walking tours are the best way to get oriented in a new city. And street food, it's not just cheap, it's usually the most authentic and delicious food around. Skip the taxis, use local transport, and in places like Southeast Asia, renting a scooter for like $8 gives you total freedom for a whole day. You know, travel is about so much more than just the places you see. It's really about the people you meet. And if you're traveling by yourself, making those connections can totally transform your trip. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The real magic of solo travel often happens in those random, amazing conversations and friendships you make along the way. And lucky for us, technology has made finding those people easier than ever. So here are a few apps you've got to have in your social toolkit. The Hostelworld app actually has a chat feature, so you can meet people staying at your hostel before you even get there. Couchsurfing has this Hangouts feature that's perfect for just spontaneously meeting up with other travelers or locals. Meetup lets you find local groups based on your hobbies, and Gaffle is designed specifically to help you find travel buddies to share an adventure with and split the costs. Okay, but what if you want to do more than just a 2-week vacation? What if you're dreaming of traveling for months, or maybe even making it your entire lifestyle? Believe it or not, it's actually more possible than you might think. Here are 3 amazing strategies to make it happen. First, work exchanges. Basically, you trade a few hours of work a day for a free place to stay and maybe some food. Second, if you have any skill you can do online, you can freelance from anywhere you can get Wi-Fi. And third, house and pet sitting. This one lets you live like a local in a beautiful home completely for free, just by looking after someone's pets. All right, now for our final tip. And I gotta give you a heads up. This one's a little bit controversial. It comes with some pretty serious warnings. This is definitely the expert level, high risk, high reward travel hack. It's called hidden city ticketing, or sometimes skip lagging. So here's the deal. Sometimes a flight from, say, New York to Denver that has a layover in Chicago is actually cheaper than a direct flight from New York to Chicago. So what you do is you book that longer flight, you get off the plane at your layover in Chicago, which is where you wanted to go all along, and you just leave the airport. The pro is pretty obvious. You can save a ton of money on flights, but the risks, they are very, very real. You absolutely cannot check a bag because your bag will go to the final destination and you won't. If you book a round trip, the airline will almost certainly cancel your return flight once you miss a leg. And in some cases, airlines have been known to ban passengers or even try to charge them the fare difference. So here's the bottom line. It's not illegal, but it is against the airline's rules, the contract you agree to when you buy a ticket. You just have to weigh those potential savings against the consequences. You have to ask yourself, is that a risk you're willing to take? So from picking the perfect spot to booking like a total pro to saving money on the ground, the power to travel affordably is totally in your hands now. So I guess the only real question left is, where are you going to go first?